Hello, am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's not, sir, by the way. Thanks so much. We'll just begin in a minute. Just give us one more minute. Audible and visible now for everyone, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, great. Very good evening, everyone, and welcome
Yes,
to
sir,
the.
you are visible.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you so much. Very good evening, everyone, and welcome to the University Debating and Literary Club. I know we are running a bit late with the schedule. The session began a long time ago, but the entire online thing has got us on our toes. We're trying to bring the best experience to you. We're trying to replicate what actually happened in the University Debating and Literary Club when it was all offline. And this is all just an attempt to replicate all of that. We honestly hope that you have a great experience in this. And we have a lot of things lined up for you. Like the forums will go as they went in the previous sessions when it was offline. We'll have different forums. We'll have public speaking in Urdu, public speaking in Hindi, creative writing, performance poetry, and many other similar forums for you in the upcoming weeks. The schedule that has been shared for you, shared to you in the group, is for this week only. We'll have other people as well taking the forums. Normally, the practice was that there would be one forum in charge who would take all the forums throughout this session. But this year, we're trying to do things a bit differently. We're trying to invite different people as resource person for workshops, as we have Abdullah Parwaiz today. And I honestly hope that you all maximize the most from all of this. And if you have any questions related to all of this, please feel free to text the admins of the group that you are in. I think you'll have their contact numbers. And this is going to be regular from now on. Inshallah, we are hoping that everything goes well. And yes, I'll hand it over to Abdullah Parwaiz. I hope you all are keeping safe in the second and third wave. So Abdullah Parwaiz, a brief introduction, is a national debater representing the League of Muslim University for many years. Right now, he's a member of the University Debating Literary Club since 2018, 4 years to be precise. Currently, he's a master's candidate in the Department of English, AMU. He's not only represented the university, he's also won many national debates representing the university. Over to you, Abdullah. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Can
Yes.
anyone confirm that for me?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
All right. Finally, I feel like the UDLC is coming to its full function now that everyone is involved, and now that we have our one of the most major components of the whole club, that is our forums, up and running. I'm excited to take the opening first forum, and I'm glad to see that there are a lot of people who have joined. And I just hope that more people keep on joining this. And the whole concept of the forum has always been to at first learn and then implement, because as if anyone is new here, it is very important to establish the fact that when you say it's a university debating and literary club, you see the emphasis on debating coming at first. And that is because debating has been a very important part of the club, that I don't think there has been 1 year where AMU has not brought many accolades and accomplishments to the club. I think it's been numerous. Sometimes I've lost count. In a year, it can be up to 20, sometimes 30 competitions.
I'll just interject for once, Abdullah.
To the club.
Like recently,
So
we submitted
debating
our
is
submitted our data to
something
the
that
NAC
we
team,
keep
and it
as
was
an integral part.
around.
We need to see, yeah, yes,
Yeah, so like with somewhere over the last 5 years, we had over 200 accolades to our name in the last 5 years only.
exactly. So that gives you an overview of how important debating is to the club. Now, I'll begin the forum by first telling you what it means to represent Aligarh Muslim University. I'll share my own experience when I first came to the club and when I went to the national platform and how brilliant it was and how challenging it was. Um, well, uh, when if any one of you have come from other universities, you must notice that with Aligarh Muslim University and especially UDLC, we take the competition so seriously that every competition is something that goes through a series of trials before a person is sent to compete onto the national platform. No matter how big or small the national competition is, our motive is always to win and come back. Now, the reason for that is not that because we are just a part of such a big university. It's because how we are seen as a university when we go to these national platforms. Personally speaking, when I've been to the national level in Dehradun, I must tell you there were 50 teams there. And usually in these national competitions, the university is not told like where you come from or which university you're presenting. It's just that you're giving team numbers. But we of Aligarh Muslim University, we go in our cladded in sherwanis, and the girls they go in these white dresses and scarves and stuff like that. So even though we are not being no one is being told which university anyone is coming from, they know that all right, Aligarh is here. And there have been many instances where if the teams of the UDLC are busy in various competitions and we're not able to bring up a team to go to a certain competition, there have been times when special invitations have come from the organizing committees of those universities that you must send a team because it raises their name as well that Aligarh has come and represented them. But what does that mean? Well, I must tell you, when Savi gave such a nice introduction of me, or he'll give an introduction of other people, I must tell you, when you are debating, when you are on that platform, when you win and you come back, or even if you don't, you must understand the fact that you are representing the university. People are going to remember the university that has come and represented. You are just a representation of it. You're an embodiment of it. All right. So when you're going, it's not that a certain XYZ or Abdullah or someone else has won the competition, it's that AMU has won it. Now that brings on a big responsibility on the shoulders of a person, right? Because no one is going to remember, except a few people that you might establish contact with, no one's going to remember that a certain person came and represented. But they're going to remember, yes, AMU in that year came and they won, and that there was such a tough competition. So that's what makes it challenging. All right. So all of you who are here to learn what public speaking is, what debating is, needs to understand the intensity of it. Right? That when you're coming to learn, that you carry on a legacy. Right? You need to understand the people who are going to represent are going with the mindset that, all right, I have to win this competition because I need to keep on the legacy going. Right? So that is why I think UDLC has become such an important part of the university. Moving on, what is it that makes us different? Right? Why is it that other universities, there are 50 teams, 60 teams, sometimes 70 teams that come into a national competition? And why is it that almost every time we either take up best team, we either take up best speaker or something of the sorts, we win something anyway? Why is it that we are different? Well, I'm kind of obviously everyone is disappointed that the university is not open, and some of you who must be externals who have come to the university as of now, or who must have just come from the +2 into the university circle. It would have been an amazing thing to witness on ground. The CEC that we have, one of the most active clubs undoubtedly is UDLC, and that is very much apparent when you see the forums being run. Forums are run not just in classrooms. The whole ground is taken up. Everyone conducts it differently. You will see a creative writing forums being done in open spaces so that you have that creativity coming in. You will see an environment of the smart classroom where you see chairs racked up in a certain way that seems like an auditorium is there and you are actually debating there. So an environment is given to you so that you can learn. Now with uh, forums, we had it divided into beginners and advanced public speaking. People who have never done public speaking, who have never even stood on the stage, could come and learn something. They could join in on the beginners public speaking, and they could have prompts been given, and your confidence will be boosted up to a point where by the end of one semester, I can guarantee the person who has never been on stage will come up and say something, anything, but they will. And I've seen that happen personally. And with the advanced public speaking, obviously the people, there are certain people who have done debating or public speaking on some sort of platform when they are in their when they're in their +2 or even before that. So they get a platform here to now move on to the national level. So UDLC provides you with that opportunity, and you are being nurtured to a point where it's just not all right. A national competition come on, let's just give the trials, let's see if you select it, and that's it. No, you've been built up to that point. You've been trained, right? And it's rigorous. Must tell you, like there are competitions where you get topics just one day before. There are competitions in which you will not understand what side to be on, for to be for, to be against. You will not understand that, but you still have to do it. You still have to do it to a level where you are at par. Now, when it comes to debating, there are like certain rules that people keep on forgetting. And this is something that I learned from my seniors, and I was surprised to learn that. One of the first things is that when you are on the podium, when you are performing, when you are debating, one of the most key things that people make a mistake at is they address everyone. You're going to address the audience, you're going to address the judges, the teachers, the professors, the organizing team, and everything. People have a tendency to do that because we do it when we are in our younger age. Good morning, so and so. I'm delighted to be here in front of you. And you will see that even on a national level, you will see a lot of teams doing that. But that's not how you do it. When you are on that platform, the only person or a group of people you are addressing to is the chair. Now, this is something that I found to be a simplistic thing to keep in mind, yet it was such a crucial thing at the same time. This is something I learned through my seniors, that when you are there, you need to just address the chairperson, all right? You need to address the chairman, or the best way, which is something that I learned as a hack, is just say it as honorable chair. Now, that is the only person that you are going to address your whole debate to. The only time the audience steps is in two cases. They're mere spectators. The first is that, and the second thing is when the rebuttal round comes in. Now, obviously, the rebuttal round is something where the audience is given a chance to question after you have done with your speech. You're given sometimes 30 seconds to think on the answer, and then you have 1 minute to perform. That is how it is. So these are like certain key points that people keep on forgetting. All right. Then now, being a part of this club, of this university, one of the perks that you get is that because we have the teams here have performed almost at every national level of competition, they know that what is the mindset, what is the strategy that you should go with when you're going to a certain competition, right? Because different places have different kinds of mindset. So some places you need to be fierce, you need to have a louder voice with emphasis. Some places you need to be very quaint, and you need to be very elegant. Some places you need to mix it. Some places you need to be high pitched. Some places you need to keep a very bass voice. Now, that is something that comes very as a privilege of being in this club, because you'll have people who will guide you. All right, you're going to this certain competition. All right, so these are the pointers that you should go with. Second is that I again share personal experience that how seriously we take public speaking and debating. Now, it comes to a point where you're not researching just simply. Now, some of you might know, or if you don't know, North Zone is one of the biggest competitions that happen in a year. year that a very good team is prepared and selected for. It's called the zonal competitions, and North Zone is a part of that. And a lot of universities, I mean, around 50 to 70 universities come and they are at par. So you need to outperform them. And I think it's just one of the universities where it's just one of the competitions where you get the topic just a day before, a few hours before the event is held. So how do you prepare for something like that? Well, I'll share my personal experience when I was preparing from the 2020 North Zone trials. Just the trials. This is something that I'm going to perform in the club itself in front of 2 or 3 judges, and they're going to select me just to go into the competition. Now, the preparation I had to do it for that was the topic was something around national education policy draft for 2020. Now, the draft will just come out. People were just figuring out, all right, this is this, this is that. These are the things that are told in it. So how do you do something different with that topic? Now, I went out, I approached people to know that if there are certain people in a university that might know extensively on the topic. And I found a person, I did go to him, and I sat with that person for 3 hours. I think I should give credit to that person. He was a professor of the Sanskrit or Hindi department, Professor Manoj Jha, and he helped me prepare for it because he had written a lot of extensive articles on it. So that was going beyond just Googling things. It was understanding the topic, and then you need to figure out how to compress that into 3 to 5 minutes. And I say the word compress because in debating or in speaking for longer times is actually easier. And as you get experience with being on the public platform, you will notice that to compress your speech into 2 to 3 minutes or 4 minutes is way tougher. And this comes into writing as well, and then performing it. And a lot of times you might feel that how will I be on stage for 5 minutes? What are the things that I will say? And when you have actually prepared for it, you'll always go above the time limit. And that's one of the most. That is why we have buzzers in debates. All right. That is why points are cut. That if you exceed the time limit to finish your points. So these are some things that that goes into national debating. As for how the forums will go on, and what will be the difference between workshops and a forum? Well, as Sabi told us that we have included workshops, and we have had this opportunity so that because it's we are in online mode and we're able to invite people from different universities. And again, this is again a perk you get for performing at the national level. You get to be in contact with brilliant minds around the around the country, perform at a single platform. And because of the prestige that you have with because of your university, you're able to establish contact with them, and they love being in contact with you. And in the coming days, you will notice how workshops are going to happen with people who have been on such platforms, and those people will do it in the certain ways. They'll either give you an introduction of just how things they dealt with things and what they think is important. They might make it inclusive, but with forums, we're going to make it very inclusive, like how it was offline. Of course, it's going to be a bit tougher to receive, just to see people come up and speak on the online platform, but I'm going to do my best at that. So how we're going to go about this is that I am going to give a prompt, and I need you guys to think for 3 to 5 minutes. I need you guys to write down anything, a very short, whatever you want on it for like that lasts for like 10, 20, 30 seconds. And you're going to try and speak it in front of people. Now, of course, you must be, ये तो अभी से कह रहे हैं मुझको कि मैं आके स्टेज पे बोलूं. But this is how it is. As I'm emphasizing the point that this is how we are different. We are building you. We're going to mold you into someone that can perform in front of hundreds of people without any hesitation. And that begins here. I've seen people who have not who have not had the courage to speak even one word in front of people, and they have performed speeches by the end of their semesters or a year. And so we're going to try and do that. This is something that we even I learned this from a very valuable senior of ours, Rabia Umar. She's an amazing debater, and this is something that I learned from her how important it is to prepare something just like in an impromptu basis on a quick basis. So I think we can continue with that. All right. I'll put up the prompt in the chat box, and I hope a few of you can do something, write something on it, and bring up the courage to speak on it. I hope so. Till then, please volunteer. And if you would like to speak, or if you would like to just raise your hand, or if you would like to just put it in the chat box, who would like to volunteer to speak up on the topic, that would be nice. And it's actually necessary if you guys could just go ahead and do that. Just drop a yes in the chat box. That would do. I see any working, I guess, would know. We could do that, or either I could pick up someone randomly and you can see how that goes.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, Tala. Yes.
Actually, I'm not a fresher. I'm in third year BSc, and I have been a part of your spoken program in first semester before COVID and all. And I knew some of you like Bukhari Bhai, Sabi Ahmed.
That's good to know. Mhm. That is good to know. How did you like the forums then, and how do you think it's different from then?
Yeah, your forum helps me a lot. When I joined by your forum, then I go to some of the programs and I spoke there because it helps a lot in hesitation, because I personally being beginners just have hesitations, but so I have spoken in Delhi, right? Delhi, in Shaheen Bagh protest.
That is good to know. Where are you from, Tala?
I am from Ghaziabad, and
That is. Where are you
I'm
from?
in Ghaziabad.
All right, all right. So I think Tala, that since you have had some experience, I think you can take this topic and maybe you could give some encouragement to other people who have joined by saying a few things on this topic. Take a few
Actually, I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
minutes, think on it, and then
Abdullah, your connection is unstable.
Yes, Abdullah bhai. Hello.
hello, hello, hello. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah,
All right. Okay.
absolutely.
So I was just saying that since Talaba, you have had some experience with the offline forums as well. I think you can serve as some encouragement to other people that they can come up and speak on the topic that provided. If you could just take a few minutes and just prepare something on it, just take 3 4 minutes. That would be nice. And then
Yeah.
Shams here has volunteered. We can have you next. Yes, of course, of course. Yes.
So hello, good evening, everyone. So this is because we were like we could only go to college for a few months, so we didn't get the opportunity to actually experience all this offline. So this is my first time, although I've been debating and giving speeches in school. So, but in college I couldn't have any experience. So moving on to the topic. So
You can give a brief introduction of yourself as well, so that you get
okay,
more familiar with the club in totality. Yeah.
okay. So I'm Neha Singh, and I'm a final year student, and my main is communicative English. Um Also, so I am into creative writing majorly, but I'm also into speaking a little. So yeah, I think that's all about me. So moving on to the topic, I think most of us like the major like the major point which makes people go into college education is job opportunities or yeah, it is majorly job opportunities, but along with it I would like to add the points which are uh, the points which helps you develop your personality. So uh, for example, college education helps in adopting learning. So for once we get into college, it's like a new job, so we need to perform new activities and take new responsibilities. Also the surroundings are unfamiliar, so for example, in starting days of college, we always take different kind of challenges which we were not familiar of earlier. So basically you start to learn the uh, learn how to adopt the process of learning, because in school it is completely different. Also, as you all know that there the chances of developing your personalities increases to a different level. Also, when you are in such a prestigious university, it is enhanced to a larger level. So for example, if you are assigned some jobs, so you would have to perform efficiently, even if it is something as small as being your class representative, or is performing even performing anything, even if it is only your college, not even on university level. And as I already said that it's more majorly about future opportunities, like we always like the initial thought when we enter universities or get into college education is because we want to get financial security and a job. Also, I can say it is an experience for life because I think we are missing on that because of COVID, but it is an experience of life. So when we choose to go to college, we actually choose to go out of our comfort zone and take decisions on our own and get a lot of opportunities to develop skills, interact with people from diverse backgrounds, and so it is like when we go to college, life experiences keep coming at us, and so we always come back as a different and more developed person. Also, I think it is about it is it is a kind of internal satisfaction. So when we complete college education or when we are into it uh, accomplishing complex tasks gives us the motivation, and we understand that we are capable of taking challenges, and so overall it increases the confidence level, uh, dealing with hardships also. So I like the although everything is online now, so I don't think only the learning process is harder, and there are no major hardships, but I think getting into college education makes you strong and practical, rational, because you have to confront a lot of unfamiliar situations. Maybe some people have to face it in a new place which they are not which they are which is new to them. So it also prepares us to face different situations and challenges in life. And of course education, because that is what we go for. So, and we all know that education helps to transform your own self and also people around you and society as a whole. So yeah, that's it all. That's all I can think of.
All right, that is brilliant to hear. Neha, thank you for coming up and being the first person to come and speak up. I lost a bit of connection by the end of it, but I heard most of what you said. So,
Okay. I'll be the next one.
Good evening,
hello?
everyone. Hello. Uh,
No, no, just
Clear?
wait, just a second. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. All right. Um, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
These are the problems we have with just being, online. But it's okay. So with Neha, all right. So this is something that uh, is crucial when it comes to public speaking. Is that everyone who comes up and speaks, because if you do not come up and speak, I will not know that's what are the things that you need to work on, what is it that's going to make your debate better or your public speaking better. So with Neha, I'd like to add a few things, and you can see these as pointers. All right. But first of all, like if this was offline, I would have made everyone applaud that you came up and spoke. uh, when you are debating, your personal experiences are something that you do not speak for at all. Most of whatever you said, which was amazing to hear, because you took up the courage again. That is something that I will applaud. Uh, is that most of whatever you said was personal, where you come from, which university you're in, what you think. It was mostly opinion based. That is something we do not do when we are in debating. We try to keep it a lot factual, right? We try to keep it very unbiased, right? So when you are talking about education and college education, uh, if you want to bring up the point that you want to that you're coming from a certain prestigious university, so you need to make it more inclusive. You need to bring up the point that, all right, so what is this prestigious university? What does that mean? Like, what does it, what falls under that? Okay, and what does not? And you need to make it unbiased in the sort that you need to bring in data, right? That how many people actually feel that college education is important, what has been the data around the world. Well, these are things, some things that you need to incorporate to make it so that I not know right now that whether you were speaking for or against the topic. You need to make that very clear in your whole speech that okay, so I am for the topic. And you need to imagine, because we do not have any judge here right now, you need to imagine that there is a chairperson, right, which I told you that that is the only person you address to. And this is something that you do in a debate. Okay, when you're speaking, there's a very good chance that even in 3 to 5 minutes, because of especially the attention span that we have of our generation, people are going to lose interest. Maybe your voice will get monotonous, emphasis will not be created. So one of the ways that you can create emphasis and points that you think people should hear this point, and it will bring if people were to listen to this point properly, it will add to the points that I get for the debate. So you add the word honorable chair when you're speaking. So if I'm speaking and then I need to add so honorable chair, so and so is the data and so is the reason. So what happens that maybe in 5 minutes, at least 3 to 4 times, people will open up their ears and listen to what you have to say. So this is something that you make very sure about. And so first thing, don't make it personal. Make it as unbiased as possible. Third, bring emphasis so that monotony is not created. So these are the few pointers, and then we move on to the next person that wanted to speak up. I think that was Puja Singh. So give a brief introduction of yourself and do speak as you
Good evening, everyone. My name is Puja Singh, and I am a research scholar from Hindi department. So, so as we have a topic today, how essential is college education? So, on the topic, I would like to say that for a child who is just past his or her 12th class, uh, the college life is a big changer for her or his. He or she get to know that what he think or heard about the college life until now. It's not as uh, it is not expected by him. It is not expected by her that what kind of things he heard about the college life, that uh, we we bunk classes, teachers teachers are not very serious. So these kinds of things what they heard in her classes. So it gives a reality check to a child that what you think is not a fully correct. So a child needs to change his personality and try to change those things what he wants to be changed. Like if he wants to change the school classes time, if he wants to change his subjects, if he wants to change his opinion or his dressing styles. So these all kinds of changes what he made in his college life, which he has not done up till now. So on this topic, I would like to say that he needs to put his energy there, because we all know that after his college education, a person needs to go in the society for work or for employment. So a child needs to understand that he needs to put his energy for the society. That what he experienced today or in his college life, it is nurture his whole life. So what he learned today or learned in his college education through his teachers or his classmates or his elders, this affect his whole life. So, okay, that was my point. Thank you.
Puja for coming to speak. I'm to keep it as the actual data needs to come up. And again, you need to emphasize point that you are topic for means that you are supporting that college education is essential,
हेलो सर, आपकी वॉइस क्लियर नहीं है.
or whether you are not.
हेलो.
So you need to make that point very important. So the next person who comes up,
Okay, I'll be there. I'll be there.
please try to speak to. I hope
Hello.
I'm. Yeah, hello. Have I been audible?
You are audible, but in the due course of your voice is breaking in between.
Hello. Hello. Could someone confirm if I'm audible or not?
जी भाई, you are audible now.
I just wanted to that I went through. Pooja, were you able to hear what I had to say?
No sir, I didn't.
None of it. Yeah, it's okay. I was just first appreciating the fact that you came up and spoke here. And the other thing that the pointers that I gave to Neha go for you as well. That you need to make it, you need to make your speech not personal, unbiased, make it factual. Again, you need to bring emphasis on the fact that you are either for the topic, that you are supporting college education, that it is essential, or you're against that fact, right? You need to again make sure that you are not making it monotonous. You're trying to bring emphasis in whatever style you can, either through your voice, which is called voice modulation, when you're giving a speech or when you're debating, that you either bring your voice up or down according to when you need to emphasize, or some points that you need to just speak and just go through without any emphasis. So that is something that I will say from my side. And the next person who comes up, please try to say against the topic if you can. It's not a compulsion, but if you could, that would bring us something, as a rebuttal to the points that we have been getting till now. All right. Thank you so much, Pooja. Thank you so much, and I hope we have you again for such forums that you could learn from here. Thank you. Who is the next person who would like to come up?
I was thinking to come up next, but I am again for the motion.
All right. So, all right. So I said it's not a compulsion. You can go ahead.
Okay. No, I was actually sponging upon the topics for going against it, but there are not many, so that is why I think I should go for the motion. Okay, shall I start?
Please give a very brief introduction first of who you are, what you're studying.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, thanks for the call. I am Shamsuddin Khan, a student of third semester in the Department of English, Aligarh Muslim University, pursuing graduation in English literature. I have been debating for many years, and it is one of my many loves. Communication is, I presume, one of my assets. And before my arrival to Aligarh Muslim University in 2018, I have been there participating at various inter-school competitions, because my high school, it was a missionary-based school. So we used to conduct a lot of inter-school competitions. So after coming to Aligarh too, I got an opportunity to go to many departmental level competitions. Though I was in +2, but then too I backed something or the other, in any of the other competitions. So I think that's all about my introduction. And
good to hear. Good to hear, Shams. All right, we'd like to see what you have for the topic.
Okay, thanks. Okay. With the due permission of the Honorable Chair, I would like to elucidate on what the House believes, that is, how essential is college education. May I start, sir?
Yes, sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Well, so if we are talking about the tertiary level of education, to be more, if I talk about in general terms, it's college level education. Let me give you an example of a pottery, a pot, an earthen pot. We do carve out a pot, we do potter a pot, but at the end, when it has to be refined, it is the embroiders and the painters and the sequiners who embroider it. The same process with the education that a person receives in his important, or I should say, built only one or the other club. The person, it's actually a place where a person can acquire education for his area of specialization. He can have its area of specialization that we cannot find in school, because as far as school education is concerned, we go for general studies. The areas of interest that a person is interested in are fulfilled, yeah, because are fulfilled when we go for a higher education, and that is only possible when we get an admission into college life. And also, she there are many other political options available. He or she can go for and one of the important things, the aspects of college education, is it makes a person certified with a degree to apply for any other job. For a person saying it's not necessary, how will you going to qualify the eligibility criteria that is designated for a particular job? Um, there could be many more points that I could have included, but as far as this present moment is concerned, I would like to give a stop to my voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shams. Thank you so much. I think there are a few things that we can learn here from Shams, and I am so glad that this is what I was talking about in the beginning. That is why we have two platforms when it comes to forums. I hope that is something we can have even now. Maybe we'll segregate it in that sort of manner. That there are people who have done debating before and want to advance onto the national level and represent the university, and there are people who want to learn it from ground zero. And we provide space for both kinds of people, right? And that is how we had before, to people who would have learned completely at the beginners level. They could then be transferred to the advanced public speaking. And Shams, I'm very happy to hear from you. And something that we can learn, and that I was going to add later on to the part of debating, was something that it's a very personal touch. All right, so the only thing, again, as I was saying before, that you cannot have personal opinions when you are debating, but a personal touch to your debating comes from the fact that how you structure it. And Shamsia began first by giving us a metaphorical description of pottery and stuff like that. So that is something that everyone has, everyone tweaks in their own way. Right? Some people, there have been people who have debated, and they have done so in the manner that they have done a very, they've taken a topic that was supposed to be very factual, completely factual, and they have narrated it through a story and performed it in front of hundreds of people. So that is something very personal, that how you're able to do it. That is something that we learn on later on for people who are just starting to speak up on the stage right now. But Shams, that is something that was great to hear from you, sir. I hope that you do, come up later on when we have opportunities from the university to participate in trials, that would be great. And yes, thank you for joining us. So let's move on.
Hello. Audible. I would like to go next.
Yes, you are. Yeah, all right. Introduction and go on. And tell us whether you're speaking for or against the topic, and then you can move on.
Good evening, everyone. Julia Rahman. I'm to legal. I'm in geography, and I'm from India. I've been in CC since hello,
Please confirm me that if Juveri is audible to everyone or just not to me. If your voice is breaking.
Everyone.
All right.
So she's
Juveri, I
not
think your
audible.
connection is unstable.
Ma-
I know, not even now.
okay. So as I was do you
Still, yeah, we cannot hear you at all.
um,
Juveri, how about we come to you after someone else has spoken? If you can find a place with a more stable connection, would that be fine?
yeah, it will be 5 minutes.
All right. So please, someone else volunteer, and then we can come back to Javeria. No one else.
I would like to try.
Just give
Am I
few
audible?
words. Yes, definitely. Again,
I am Mohammed Zaid
as
Khan.
yeah. All right. Thank you.
I'm Mohammed Zaid Khan. I am a second year student of BCom currently, and I got admission into Aligarh Muslim University back in 2016 in 9th standard in Minto Circle, in fact. And I've also been part of some competitions, inter-school competitions at the university level, and that's all about it. Then I pursued my 11th 12th from +2, and then I'm currently doing my BCom here. So, with the permission of the Honorable Chair, I would like to speak against the notion that how essential college education is. With your permission, sir.
Yes, please continue.
They say the pen is mightier than the swords, but it is never said that the pen has to go through a rigorous process of 3 to 4 to 5 years to get that mighty. People are subjected to rigorous information and just for the sake of getting a job, just for the sake of getting some stability in their life, but it is not necessary. If we just pick up the history pages, if we pick up the freedom fighters or the influential figures in our history or in the history of the world, we can in fact say that most people were home taught or they studied by themselves. They weren't in need of a formal college education. They studied by themselves. They learned themselves. They were keen observers and they did everything they could, and they became the influencers. And we still refer to them as geniuses of our time. Examples could be Sir Said Ahmed Khan. He was home taught. He did not have a very formal education, though he did. He was homeschooled by his mother and by other people. Another example would be Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. He was also home taught, but he went on to become a very influential figure later on in the Indian politics. We can see throughout history that there have been many people who were home taught and did not need formal college education to become what they were. But in today's world, uh, the entryway to any job or to any opportunity is through college education. That is most probably the case that people think. People think that without a college degree, they amount to nothing. Though that might be true in certain cases, but the whole world is shifting towards a more digital format of things, and people consider skills to be much more important than what your degree is. A degree is only an entryway for you to get into something and do something that may turn out to be good or that would be influential. Say, for example, the whole world is shifting towards a more shifting towards the skills, the high paying skills or those skills. So a college education isn't necessary to those means. You can simply, there's many countless courses available, there's freelancing, there's a lot of stuff, and the corporate world needs skills rather than what college degrees have to offer. The college degrees on some account are also outdated and do not meet the needs of what of the world. So they are looking to hire more skill based people, and that is one point that I have against a formal education, that it is not necessary, though it is an entryway. It is necessary in the sense that it is enabling people to enter into to do something. It is not necessary skilled for you to get educated. That was the one point that I want to make. That's it from my side.
That you said, and thank you for bringing up against points. I did not feel that we will have that today, but thank you for that. I would like to applaud you on a very good thing that you have that I felt, which is the fact that I okay on obviously I was paying keen attention to what you're saying, but it was very easy to get lost in what I think you were saying. All right. One other way, people bring up emphasis if they are not able to, if they forget to say honorable chair, is that they have a good connection. Okay. Yeah, this is also done when you're writing. Okay. That people, there are a lot of people who change paragraphs while they're writing, and the whole concept is lost. But that is not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to create a flow in it. So one way when you're debating or when you're giving a speech, you can bring in the flow, or you can bring in emphasis, is that the points that you were making, you bring them again in the sort of way that seems new and adds to the points you're going to make next. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Yes, I do get some of it.
Yeah. And take advantage of the voice you have always, as I feel like you do have a good voice. So you can take advantage of that, and you can modulate it in certain way that you can grab the attention very easily. Okay. So do work on that. And there were a few places where you said, I think, and that again brings in the very personal opinion what I think, and that is something we need to avoid. Other than that, it was great to have you. And Shams in the chat box has said that he would like to go for a rebuttal, and I can already see the the whole objective of this forum coming to its actual life, and I'm glad that's happening. So that I hope we'll hear more from you, and that you'll prepare and you will try to come up and perform on a bigger level. Yeah.
Thank you very much, bhai. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
those kind words.
Shams, please go ahead and bring in your rebuttal. I would love to hear that.
Okay, well, thanks for the opportunity. It's really easy to question someone rather than to answer a prompt. It's a primordial convention. So I have been eagerly hearing to his stance, and he gave us example of Sir Syed and the other person, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. So could you please enlighten me more? How many, we are talking about the college level education. In the times of the people when school curriculum wasn't even properly developed at all places, and it wasn't even available at all places. Number two is you're talking about skills. So a degree of BTech or MTech will never harness any skill, in comparison to a mechanic, some show to a good do, working on a mechanic shop.
Shams, your voice is going up and down. I think there's something wrong with the mic.
Okay,
if you
fine.
could adjust that. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Now, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, my first point was that Sir Syed and Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, we are giving examples of the time, the people of the time when, let alone college education, even the school curriculum wasn't even developed properly at all places. Number two, we are talking about acquiring skills. So, I should come get in between for this BTech and MTech degrees, the professional courses. So don't they harness any skill? And if they don't harness any skill, so why there is necessity to run a course like those?
Is that the point of a rebuttal? Is that once you have heard a person's viewpoint, it's a question that has come up on the points that you have made. So here you can choose either you want to answer, or if you have something to say, you can go ahead,
Yes,
or
I'd
you can
like to
skip that.
add to
But
the first point. I'd
yes,
like to add to the
that is
first point.
brilliant. Continue.
He said that it was at a time when the college education was informal, but the point still stands. The actual point of my stance still stands. How essential is college education? So even if there wasn't any sort of structured way of learning things, people still learned. So the point still stands. You do not rebut the point, and it does not nullify it. It still stands. Even if it was not structured the way that people learned, but people still learned. So having a college degree doesn't add to the fact, it still stands. What was your second point? Can you please say again?
My second point was, college level education isn't as necessary as it appears, as far as skills are talked about. So, the programs like BTech, MTech, and for BALLB, and all those programs, MBBS, aren't they harnessing any skills? Aren't they inculcating any skills in the people that are enrolled? Those are enrolled in courses.
Yes, they definitely are, but we are comparing it. We are putting the how essential is college education. I'm not uh, exactly propagating that college education is not essential at all. It is essential, but it isn't like absolutely essential for people to survive. In terms of existentialism, people can exist even without a college degree. People can develop themselves even without a college degree, and people do that. People are doing it, and people have done that in the past. It is
All
not
right,
the
that
fact
was
that
amazing. Yes, that points are clear, Shams. Thanks for that. Thanks for questioning. And Zad, you answered that brilliantly, on point. Given an impromptu situation, you did it brilliantly. And Shams, to bring up points to question itself is also a good thing. And the best thing that you both had was that there was no anger in the question. A lot of times when people are answering a rebuttal, or even the audience when they're asking this, some sort of anger, or disheartenment, that people are disheartened and they question in that way, but that was not there. And I was glad to see that both of you made good points. And this is what it means to essentially debate. This is how it is supposed to be. And I am so glad that in our first session we are able to witness this. I hope that you guys go on to perform at more stages on bigger platforms, and I hope COVID and stuff like that does not stop you from that. I really, really look forward to that. And if this was an online forum, I would have made everyone applaud for you both. So thank you so much. We'll wrap up this forum if Juveria is available. If she's not audible. You can go
Am I
ahead and
audible now?
it's still breaking, but yes, I think we can move ahead, and we'll wrap it up after that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Juwaria Rahman, and I belong to Aligarh. I'm doing BSc in Geography, and I'm in my second year. I've been in and out of CC since class 9 as the head girl of Amy Girls High School, and maybe you would remember me from the Inquisitive 5.0 2 years back. We were the winning team. So, now coming on to the prompt, how essential is college education? I think college education is very instrumental for an individual or a community or a nation for that matter. Higher education is a tool for specialization and getting adapted to certain field of your choice. And we do need professionals and skilled working population as a youth nation. Uh, while college education does not define a person, we do need people qualified enough for the little number of jobs we have. uh, on a more individual level, college as an experience really pushes people to come out and learn new things, interact with new people, get exposure to a more diverse audience, and be an independent adult. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Juvelia. It was nice to know that you have been doing this at a platform before, and hearing words from you. You have a lot of clarity in your voice, which is good, which is something that is obviously essential. There was no breaks, there was no stuttering. That's nice. And you made less points, but you made it very clearly. All right. So a lot of times people make a lot of points, but they're not clear. So the whole essence of the debate is gone. So even if again, as I was saying before, to compress what you have to say is very difficult. And I think, of course, and there was need for some factual data and all that. But apart from that, there was clarity in your voice, which is a very amazing tool to have when you are debating. And I would love that you come up and speak more often in the forums and later on too. We'll wrap it up here. Okay, and just on one more point, Shams, see that you wrote something in the chat box, but again, I would like to point the fact that when you're asked a question, when it's a rebuttal, it does not go back and forth. I hope you know that because you have done it at previous platforms. You were not supposed to point out the fact that it is essential. Okay. Well, you ask a question, the person in front answers. The only thing you can do is that, for example, Zad asked, can you please again say the other point that you were saying? And he asked you that, and you were just supposed to again clarify what you were saying. You cannot again bring up a point and challenge them on that. Okay, so that is not something that you do when you're on the national platform. You ask a question, the person answers, and that's it. All right. All right. I do not have the heart to say no. Janki Nandan has said that she wants to say something is up, something that she wants to add to the points. You can definitely do that. I do not have the heart to say in the opening forum that no, the time is up. So we'll hear something from Janki as well, and then we'll end it. And Shamsa, hopefully you keep that in mind when you have put a very good question. It's always great to do that, but the moment you bring in points again after the person has answered, it seems like you're taking personal, and that is not something you do when you're debating. Okay, as though it seems over debating. Generally, people take it as thought key, or I need to question and prove my point, but that is not how you do it you're doing it on a respected platform elsewhere. Okay, so thank you, and Janki, we'll hear from you, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the permission. And good evening, everyone present here. I am currently pursuing Masters of Education from the Education Department, and I am in the university from my graduation, and I have pursued BSc with Physics. So, as a few points have been put forward by, I'm not remembering the name. He said that formal education at home was provided to some notable personalities. Yes, it is right. It was provided to them. But actually, that was we can say that it was their lack of resources, or there were not proper arrangements of the formal education or formal institutes, so that it was really difficult for them to attend any formal institute at that time. So, of course, I am for the motion. And next thing, that degree as a job, degree for the job. So, degree for the job, yes, okay, it is correct. But I think that not only for job, but while going to colleges and pursuing any course, of course, it opens the mind. As one of us has said that it provides us the diverse culture, which is very necessary. I believe that inculcating skills is really necessary during the college, and there is always a progressive way for humankind. So if we have progressed in such a way that we have developed a system of the education which is so formal that we have colleges, we have schools, a formal setup, then what is bad in that? I don't think that there is anything against that goes against the colleges. And there are psychological developments which tells that educational, which tells us, there are some messages, sorry, I am disturbed. Okay, let me continue that. There are some psychological developments like Freud and various other, like we have Piaget or Vygotsky, which told that there are various psychological factors which determines the education of a child. And they developed some methodologies, some formal structures to educate a child, and to send them into a college, and having some programs like MBA or any degree program is really necessary for the development and opening the mind to have the diverse thinking. Thank you very much.
That was so good to hear, Janki. Was really, really, really nice. The points that you put up. I think I missed your introduction part, or maybe it didn't come through, or I don't know. Which course are you in right now?
I am actually pursuing Masters of Education.
Okay, Master of Education. All right. Okay. So just to add a few points again, I'm emphasizing this point, and I think this is the major takeaway you should have from this forum, of today's forum, is that do not make your speech personal. Do not say the words "I think." All right, this is these words, or if you have to, at most say, "It is of my opinion." Make it sound that it's very formal. Make it sound, using the word "I think," just refutes the whole purpose of a debate. Okay, anyone can put up a very easy rebuttal on that. Why do you think? Why did you have to say that? It's very easy to do that. Other than that, again, even your voice needs modulation. That again, I had to keep my ears open so that I could hear every point. If I did not, I would have missed on a few. So emphasis through voice modulation is important. That is the second takeaway from today's forum. There's great potential in everyone who has come up and performed. I hope that in the later on forums, there are a lot of things that need to come up. There are a lot of things that need to be said and learned from. And learning just does not come from me taking the forum. It comes from people who are going to come up and speak. I can add pointers to that. You can just hear them out, and you can for yourself assess that whose version of the topic and speech you were able to keep, an interest towards. So it's a whole learning process that you have, just not through me as giving pointers, but through also coming up and speaking, through preparing, through just saying a line or two, from listening to your peers. So I'll just end up the forum here. I hope I see you in the next forums that are to come. And there are more forums we have regarding creative writing and all that. So feel free to even participate those in the coming days. And we'll take this forum, I think, somewhere again in the next week or so. Until then, I bid you all goodbye. Take care, and an applaud to all of you who have performed. Please take a moment and fill the Google form that has been shared in the groups as a feedback towards the forums, so that even we can understand how you would like to see improvements in the forums. Thank you, everyone. Take care. All right. Bye.